In this video, we are going to make a boxed cake mix taste like a bakery cake. And after we do that, we are going to be making some buttercream frosting. So right now, I'm going to just give you what you need to make the box cake into a bakery cake. This is from 3 Cooking Sisters. So both of the frosting and the cake is gonna be from 3 Cooking Sisters. And I'm gonna put the link below, right below this video if you want to print this out for yourself. So you need a box, so a white or whatever cake mix you want. I chose white, but you could do chocolate or whatever. So it's going to be the same for any flavor you choose. But it says, look at the directions on the cake mix, and then you're going to add 2 more eggs than what they say if you want it really rich. So this box, I want it to be white. You can use regular eggs, but then it'll make your cake kind of look yellow. I want it to be a bright white cake. So we're gonna do 4 egg whites, but we're gonna add 2 more to make it rich. So we did 6 egg whites, and Kevin did those right here. And then instead of oil, you're gonna add butter.
And you're gonna double it.
Right, so you're gonna double it. So the cake mix wants you to do 1/2 cup of oil. So we did a whole cup of melted butter, which is a whole cup is 2 sticks. 2 sticks of melted butter. So Kevin said right away, it has to taste better. Look at all the butter it's gonna have.
And that might change, make it a little yellow too. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know. Okay, and then instead of water, you're gonna use milk, but you're gonna use the same amount. So it calls for 1 1/4 cup of water. So we have 1 1/4 cup of milk. So also you can use for this cake mix, you can use a 13 by 9 inch pan, 8 inch, 9 inch, a bundt pan, or you can make cupcakes. I'm choosing to do 2 9 inch, and I cut my parchment paper to fit at the bottom, and I use the Baker's Joy because it has flour in it, and I love Baker's Joy, so I use that around the edges. So right now, basically, you want to just mix your egg whites, your butter, and your milk in with your mix here. And then we're gonna split it up between the 2 pans. And then we're going to bake it. And for the 9 inch rounds, it's gonna bake for 29 to 33 minutes. So I will probably set my timer for 30 minutes. And then we'll check on it, and I'll let you know at the end though how long it took total. What we did was we have, one of you all gave us the great tip to weigh our bowl and put it on a sticker on our KitchenAid machine. And so we have that sticker on the back of our machine. So we know how much the bowl weighs all by itself. So then anytime we have to divide a cake mix out like this, Kevin takes that number, and what do? Divide it by whatever, 2 or 3
We
cakes.
weigh the full container, subtract out the weight of the bowl, and then divide it by 2.
Right.
Or divide it by however many you need.
Divided by however many you need. Right. So we divided these out so that they'll be about the same thickness. Used to, I wouldn't have cared at all. But now I do care a little bit more, and I want it to look pretty. And so I'm just trying to get it even, and I will actually like tap this like that a little bit. These are, you can tell this is a lot thicker, a lot fluffier, but I don't know if I said it. If I didn't, I want to. You want to preheat your oven to 350. So our oven is preheated to 350.
Whatever your box says.
Whatever the box says, yes. The temperature on the box says 350. If you buy a different box cake mix, your box might, you're right, your box might say something different. So our box said 350. So I'm gonna smooth this out as best I can, like this. And then we're going to put it in the oven, and we'll be back. My cakes were in for 30 minutes and I have let them completely cool. So when they first came out of the oven, they had risen a little bit, but since they've sit here and they're completely cool, they flatten out a little bit. Now you can see there's like a little tear here and there's a little tear here, but that's okay, it'll be fine. So now we're ready to make our frosting. So again, this recipe is on the Three Cooking Sisters website. It's called Kathy's Wedding Cake Buttercream Frosting is what they have it labeled as, but I will put a link below. You need half a cup of Crisco, and this is just white Crisco, and then you need half a cup of butter softened, which is 1 stick. You need 1 teaspoon of clear vanilla, and you also need 1 teaspoon of butter flavor extract. I have both of those in here because we're going to be adding these at the same time anyway. You also need 4 cups of powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons of milk. This is more than 2 tablespoons of milk, but we'll see how much we end up needing. Sometimes you need more. And then you need 1 to 2 teaspoons of food paste, bright white. So Kevin, what is this?
The gel.
This is called gel, but they said that gel food coloring, it will work fine. So what we want to do is in a large bowl, we want to cream together our powdered sugar. That's why I went ahead and put it in here. And our shortening until, that's your Crisco, until it's smooth. So this has been going for a while, and this is as good as it gets for this section. I want to show you something on their directions. So I noticed that in their directions it says gradually mix in milk, vanilla, and butter flavor extract. Then on down here it says add milk. Well, if you've already added your milk up here, you can't add it again down here.
It also never mentions the white color.
No, it never mentions your coloring at all, your gel. So we think what they meant to say was mix in the butter, vanilla, and butter flavor. Also at this point, we're going to mix in 1 to 2 teaspoons of the paste. So I'm not going to do my milk until after. So we're going to do it right now. I'm going to do, let me pull this up here. I'm going to do my butter. And then I have my vanilla and my butter flavoring both in the same little bowl. And we bought the butter flavoring in the cake aisle at Walmart. So it was right there with the other like vanilla and stuff like that. And now I'm also going to be adding my gel at this point. And how, it says 1 to 2 teaspoons.
I put like 6 drops or
6
something.
drops, because I know you don't need as much of this.
We can always add more.
We can always add more. So I'm going to let this mix together, and then we're going to be adding our milk. Okay, our mixer started to slow down because it's really coming together. So they're saying you want to use 2 tablespoons of the milk, so I'm going to use 2, and then that might be perfect, or we might need a little bit more. We'll just see. I'm going to do 2 at first. I'm going to use a little bit more of this gel because we did not use near what they said. And that won't add any flavor, it'll just make it whiter. I'm gonna scrape my bowl down, and then I'll see. I can kind of usually tell by how it feels if we're gonna need to add any more milk. It is really nice and white. It seems very fluffy. I don't see anything stuck to the bottom. But in order to be able to frost the cake, I don't want to pull any cake off while I'm frosting it. So I might add just a little bit more milk, just a hair. like half a tablespoon, and that's it. This is how the frosting looks. Looks really good, very white. And so I'm just gonna take, I have my glass cake plate, and I'm gonna take some parchment and put it around the sides so that, because I'm messy. I'm very messy when I decorate. And I'm not a professional whatsoever, so don't ever think that. Since this one tore, I'm gonna put it on the bottom. Actually, I can have it upside down just like that. I think I'll do that. There we go. It's like a giant pancake. Okay, so we're gonna kind of half this, and I'm gonna put it all over the center. I do have one of these. I have a longer one, a shorter one. I'll use that. Just looking at this cake, it looks like bakery cake. It looks like what we usually go to the bakery and pay a lot of money for. So it's going to be very interesting to try it and see, because the white frosting, mine's just a plain, plain white. But if you were creative and you were to put flowers or whatever writing, that frosting is perfect. You can get it perfectly smooth, and it would be great for putting some writing on it, or flowers, or whatever decoration you want.
Yeah, and if you didn't want a stacked cake, you could have made a sheet cake too.
You could have.
Like a cake pan.
Yeah, and I told Kevin, I said, mine seems a little flatter. It's not as thick. And he said, well, that's because you use 9-inch round pans instead of 8-inch. So if you use 8-inch, that's going to give you a little bit more thickness to it. Yeah.
It also might be a little bit denser of a cake too. Yeah, it feels a little denser.
Are you trying? That's exactly what I want to try to do. Is just get the cake.
If you think about what a bakery cake tastes like though, and the texture, it is a little bit more dense, and this is kind of like that.
Yes. I think it's delicious.
I think I'd put one less egg in it though.
Why?
I can taste a little bit of the egg.
Oh.
In just the cake, just a little bit of the egg flavor.
I don't get it. If you, I know when our bakery makes cakes, they keep them in the refrigerator until like that morning when they open up, and then they'll set them out on a counter and you get them. You'll definitely want to put this in the refrigerator, and it tells you any unused frosting, which that was not going to happen with me. We leave nothing.
It was a good amount.
Anything in that bowl is going to get used. Yeah. But if you don't use it, make sure you keep it in the refrigerator, because it will go bad.
Well, like if you want to make your frosting up ahead of time.
Yes.
You can have it already made up. Yeah, and I'm not saying this cake is eggy. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I can detect just a little bit of that egg flavor in there. And just when you're eating the cake by itself.
As far as like, I always lick the bowl. Cake mixes, brownie mixes, cookie mixes, whatever. I can tell you that this was not a sweet mix.
The cake itself.
Sorry. And the cake itself was not a sweet mix. So when I got like some off of the spatula, it tasted more flour. It tasted like a flour, very heavily flour-based batter rather than a really sweet batter. So you would have thought, oh, it's going to be so sweet, but it's really not. All of your sweetness is coming from that frosting.
Yeah, that's a good frosting.
It's
and that
delicious.
frosting's really good.
Yes. So, do you think this turned a box cake mix into a bakery cake mix?
It got closer than the box cake by itself for sure.
Yes, I agree. I think the texture, I think it's heavier. It's a heavier, denser cake, and so I think I do think it comes a lot closer than just a regular box mix. So for this particular recipe, I like it. I think it worked. I think it is worth going to the extra trouble if you want to really, like if you're having family over or if you're having the ladies over, then I think this would be worth it.
Yeah, it's good. Like I said, I would just go one less egg white.
Okay.
Because it won't make a difference. But
it's a very, very moist cake.
Yeah, I think you'd be fine going one less. Because we went 2 extra.
Right.
We could have, it said go 1 or 2.
It did.
And so I could have just went 1 extra and it would have been fine.
Add 2 if you want it to be very rich. So yeah, 1 to 2. So yeah, I think that's fine. I would just do 1 from now on. But I do think this is an impressive cake. I think it's a box cake mix is fine, but I think this is more impressive.
And I love the frosting that you put that butter flavoring and the vanilla in there, and the white food coloring or dye. Really did make it white.
It really did. Yes, this worked out great. So I would totally do this again. I wouldn't do anything different.
I would too.
And it wasn't terribly time consuming at all.
Really.
So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.